Speak less, you will get everything in life. Ladies and gentlemen, uh, in a world where everyone seems to have something to say, it's easy to forget the power of silence and the value of listening. Too often we fill the air with words, thinking that more talking equals more influence. But today I'm here to tell you something that might surprise you. Speak less, and you will get everything you want in life. This isn't about being silent or withdrawing from the world. It's about mastering the art of thoughtful communication, listening more than you speak, and using your words with purpose. In this speech, we will explore how speaking less can actually lead to greater influence, stronger relationships, and a more impactful life. The power of listening. One of the most underrated skills in communication is the ability to listen. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook the simple act of listening, but it is, without a doubt, one of the most powerful tools we possess. Speaking less doesn't just mean saying fewer words. It means shifting our focus toward others, paying attention to what they are saying, and understanding the deeper meaning behind their words. When we listen, we give others the space to express themselves fully. We allow them to share their thoughts, concerns, and ideas without interruption or judgment. This not only fosters trust, but also builds strong relationships. People feel valued when they are heard. When we speak less and listen more, we show others that we respect their opinions, experiences, and perspectives. Listening actively also allows us to learn more. When we are constantly talking, we miss out on important insights. Whether it's in a professional setting with family or among friends, the more we listen, the more we understand the world around us. We pick up on things that we might otherwise miss if we were too busy speaking or thinking about our next response. Listening helps us to be more empathetic. When we listen, we are putting ourselves in the other person's shoes. We become more attuned to their emotions, needs, and desires. This empathy builds stronger connections and makes our conversations more meaningful. It allows us to respond thoughtfully, instead of reacting impulsively. You think about the great leaders, mentors, and communicators you admire. What do they all have in common? They listen. They know that listening is the key to understanding others, to finding solutions, and to influencing people in a positive way. When you listen, you gather valuable information that helps you make informed decisions and provide meaningful feedback. This deep understanding allows you to make better choices, avoid misunderstandings, and navigate complex situations with greater ease. When we speak less and listen more, we create a space for others to contribute. Too often we focus on ourselves, on what we want to say next, or how we can be heard. But the most effective communicators understand that by stepping back and allowing others to speak, we invite collaboration and innovation. The best ideas often come from unexpected places, and by listening carefully, we open the door to new possibilities. The power of listening lies in its ability to connect, learn, and understand. The more we listen, the more we enrich our conversations, relationships, and ultimately our lives. So, next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember, speaking less and listening more might just be the most powerful move you can make. Clarity through silence. In a world that constantly demands our attention, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and chaos of everyday life. We often feel the pressure to speak and share our opinions, sometimes without fully considering the impact of our words. However, there is a profound power in silence, a power that can bring clarity, insight, and understanding. When we choose to speak less, we create space for our thoughts to settle. In the silence that follows, we allow ourselves to pause, reflect, and gain clarity about the situation at hand. This moment of stillness gives us the opportunity to consider our words more carefully, ensuring that what we say is intentional, meaningful, and impactful. Silence allows us to tune out distractions and focus on what truly matters. It helps us filter out the unnecessary noise that often clouds our judgment, enabling us to make decisions that are more aligned with our goals and values. Without the constant urge to speak or respond, we can assess situations from a broader perspective, seeing the bigger picture and uncovering truths that might have otherwise gone unnoticed. Clarity through silence also helps us manage our emotions. When we speak impulsively in the heat of the moment, we often say things we don't mean or regret later. Silence provides a moment to cool down, gather our thoughts, and respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. It's in these quiet moments that we can regain control over our emotions, preventing rash decisions and fostering more constructive conversations. This pause, however, isn't just about physical silence, it's also about mental stillness. In our busy lives, our minds are often racing with thoughts, worries, and ideas. But when we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we create space for mental clarity. The quieter our mind becomes, the clearer our thoughts will be. And when our thoughts are clear, we can speak with purpose and confidence, knowing that we're saying exactly what needs to be said. Silence is also an invitation to listen to others, to our own inner thoughts, and to the world around us. It's easy to fall into the trap of speaking without truly listening. But when we embrace silence, we become better listeners. In turn, this helps us understand others more deeply and respond with greater empathy and insight. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and innovators often understood the value of silence. They knew that by stepping back and allowing space for thought and reflection, they could make more informed decisions and offer more meaningful contributions. By speaking less, they created an environment where their words carried more weight and their actions spoke louder. Clarity through silence is not about avoiding conversation or retreating from the world. It's about embracing the power of quiet moments to gain insight, reflect, and make thoughtful choices. When we allow ourselves the gift of silence, we give ourselves the space to truly understand, communicate more effectively, and move forward with greater purpose. So, next time you're faced with a decision or conversation, remember sometimes the best way to find clarity is to speak less and embrace the power of silence. Clarity through silence. In a world that constantly demands our attention, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and chaos of everyday life. We often feel the pressure to speak and share our opinions, sometimes without fully considering the impact of our words. However, there is a profound power in silence, a power that can bring clarity, insight, and understanding. When we choose to speak less, we create space for our thoughts to settle. In the silence that follows, we allow ourselves to pause, reflect, and gain clarity about the situation at hand. This moment of stillness gives us the opportunity to consider our words more carefully, ensuring that what we say is intentional, meaningful, and impactful. Silence allows us to tune out distractions and focus on what truly matters. It helps us filter out the unnecessary noise that often clouds our judgment, enabling us to make decisions that are more aligned with our goals and values. Without the constant urge to speak or respond, we can assess situations from a broader perspective, seeing the bigger picture and uncovering truth that might have otherwise gone unnoticed. Clarity through silence also helps us manage our emotions. When we speak impulsively in the heat of the heatest, we often say things we don't mean or regret later. Silence provides a moment to cool down, gather our thoughts, and respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. It's in these quiet moments that we can regain control over our emotions, preventing rash decisions and fostering more constructive conversations. This pause, however, isn't just about physical silence, it's also about mental stillness. In our busy lives, our minds are often racing with thoughts, worries, and ideas. But when we allow ourselves to sit in silence, we create space for mental clarity. The quieter our mind becomes, the clearer our thoughts will be. And when our thoughts are clear, we can speak with purpose and confidence, knowing that we're saying exactly what needs to be said. Silence is also an invitation to listen to others, to our own inner thoughts, and to the world around us. It's easy to fall into the trap of speaking without truly listening, but when we embrace silence, we become better listeners. In turn, this helps us understand others more deeply and respond with greater empathy and insight. The greatest leaders, thinkers, and innovators often understood the value of silence. They knew that by stepping back and allowing space for thought and reflection, they could make more informed decisions and offer more meaningful contributions. By speaking less, they created an environment where their words carried more weight and their actions spoke louder. Clarity through silence is not about avoiding conversation or retreating from the world. It's about embracing the power of quiet moments to gain insight, reflect, and make thoughtful choices. When we allow ourselves the gift of silence, we give ourselves the space to truly understand, communicate more effectively, and move forward with greater purpose. So next time you're faced with a decision or conversation, remember sometimes the best way to find clarity is to speak less and embrace the power of silence. The value of thoughtful reflection. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, we often find ourselves moving from one task to the next without taking the time to stop, think, and reflect. Our world rewards action, speed, and quick responses, but true wisdom and success come when we learn to pause, reflect, and choose our words and actions deliberately. The power of thoughtful reflection is one of the most transformative skills we can cultivate, especially when we adopt the practice of speaking less and thinking more. Reflection involves more than just pausing to think. It's about giving ourselves the space to process our experiences, emotions, and the information we encounter. It requires us to step back from the noise and distractions around us and to engage in a deeper level of introspection. This practice allows us to gain clarity on our goals, desires, and values, leading us to make better decisions and to communicate with greater insight. When we reflect thoughtfully, we gain a clearer understanding of who we are and what we stand for. This self-awareness enables us to be more authentic in our interactions with others. Instead of reacting impulsively or saying the first thing that comes to mind, we take a moment to assess the situation, understand our emotions, and decide how best to respond. Reflection helps us manage our impulses, guiding us to communicate in a way that aligns with our true intentions. The value of reflection extends beyond our personal lives. It's also essential for professional growth. In the workplace, we often feel the pressure to respond quickly or make decisions on the spot. However, the most effective leaders and problem solvers are those who take the time to think things through. By reflecting before acting, they avoid knee-jerk reactions and make decisions that are well considered and grounded in logic and experience. Thoughtful reflection allows us to assess all the available options, weigh the pros and cons, and choose the best course of action. Reflection also enhances our ability to learn from our mistakes. It's easy to move past challenges without truly understanding what went wrong, but when we take the time to reflect, we gain valuable insights. We can pinpoint areas for improvement, recognize patterns in our behavior, and apply lessons to future situations. This continuous cycle of reflection and improvement is what leads to growth, both personally and professionally. Reflection helps us develop empathy. When we reflect on our conversations and interactions with others, we gain a better understanding of their perspectives. We consider how our words and actions may have affected them and whether we could have communicated differently. By regularly reflecting on our relationships, we become more aware of how we show up for others and how we can foster deeper, more meaningful connections. Reflection enables us to cultivate emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions while also being attuned to the emotions of others. Thoughtful reflection is a key component of emotional intelligence because it allows us to process our feelings and reactions before expressing them. This self-regulation prevents us from speaking out of anger, frustration, or fear, and instead allows us to communicate with calmness, clarity, and compassion. One of the greatest benefits of thoughtful reflection is that it enhances our ability to speak with purpose. When we take time to reflect, we are able to identify what truly matters and how best to express it. Instead of speaking just for the sake of speaking, we choose our words carefully, knowing that they carry weight. This leads to more impactful, meaningful conversations where our words are not only heard but also deeply considered. Reflection also helps us manage the demands of life. When we reflect, we gain perspective on what truly matters to us. We can assess whether our actions and words align with our long-term goals, and if they don't, we can adjust our course. In the rush to achieve success or meet deadlines, we can lose sight of our values and priorities. Thoughtful reflection serves as a compass, helping us stay true to ourselves and navigate life's challenges with integrity and purpose. In today's world, where we are constantly bombarded with information and distractions, the ability to reflect thoughtfully is a rare and valuable skill. It allows us to slow down, take stock of our lives, and make more intentional choices. By speaking less and reflecting more, we open ourselves up to deeper insights, stronger relationships, and a greater sense of purpose. When we make reflection a habit, It becomes a powerful tool for personal and professional growth. It's not just about taking time to think, it's about engaging in a deliberate process of understanding, learning, and evolving. So, the next time you feel rushed or pressured to speak or act, pause and reflect. Give yourself the time and space to think clearly, and your actions and words will carry more weight. In the end, the most successful people are not those who speak the most, but those who take the time to think deeply and respond with wisdom. Building influence through strategic silence. In a world where the loudest voices often seem to dominate, there is immense power in silence. But it's not about being silent all the time, it's about being strategically silent. The ability to speak less and allow your actions to speak louder is one of the most powerful tools you can use to build influence in both your personal and professional life. When we choose silence wisely, we create space for others to reflect, for our actions to speak, and for our words to carry more meaning. Strategic silence isn't about avoiding communication, it's about knowing when to speak and when to hold back. It's about understanding that not every thought, idea, or opinion needs to be voiced immediately. Silence gives us the space to process our thoughts, to listen more deeply, and to make more thoughtful, informed decisions. By practicing strategic silence, we communicate that we value quality over quantity, and that we are thoughtful and deliberate in our actions and words. One of the greatest benefits of strategic silence is that it allows us to focus on our actions. In many situations, actions speak louder than words. When you choose to remain silent and let your actions do the talking, you build credibility and trust. People notice what you do, how you behave, and the results you produce. Your actions align with your words, creating a consistency that strengthens your influence. People are drawn to those who are not just talkers, but doers, those who demonstrate their values through their behavior, not just their speech. By speaking less and doing more, we invite others to pay attention to our actions and the results we achieve. When we focus on delivering results, whether in our personal life, career, or relationships, we build influence that goes beyond surface-level conversation. People respect individuals who can back up their words with action, and when your actions align with your values, you earn the respect of those around you. This consistency fosters trust, and trust is the foundation of influence. Strategic silence also provides an opportunity to build better relationships. In any conversation, especially in conflict or negotiation, we tend to think that we must speak our mind at every turn. But silence can be a tool for greater understanding. By remaining silent in key moments, we give others the opportunity to speak, to express their thoughts, and to share their feelings. This shows respect and fosters an environment where people feel heard and valued. When people feel heard, they are more likely to trust you and follow your lead. Strategic silence helps you maintain control over situations. Often we feel the need to fill every gap in conversation or provide an immediate response. But silence in these moments can give you time to reflect, assess the situation, and decide on the most appropriate course of action. In business meetings, negotiations, or even personal discussions, choosing not to speak immediately allows you to avoid making impulsive decisions or emotional responses. This gives you the upper hand as you have time to consider your options and respond in the most effective way possible. Another key aspect of strategic silence is its ability to elevate your words when you do choose to speak. When you speak less often, but when you do speak, your words are more anticipated, valued, and impactful. People pay closer attention to someone who chooses their words carefully and speaks with purpose. A well-timed, thoughtfully crafted statement carries far more weight than a constant stream of chatter. When you speak with intention, people listen more closely because they know you don't speak for the sake of speaking. You speak because you have something important to say. Strategic silence also contributes to mental clarity. In the midst of constant talking and exchanging of ideas, it's easy to get overwhelmed and lose sight of what truly matters. By stepping back and allowing moments of silence, we create space for our thoughts to settle, helping us make clearer decisions. We are better able to evaluate situations, identify priorities, and approach challenges with a calm and focused mindset. This clarity of thought is crucial for effective leadership, problem-solving, and decision-making. In leadership, the ability to remain silent in key moments can also help you inspire and empower others. Great leaders understand the importance of listening to their team, allowing space for others to share ideas, ask questions, and voice concerns. By practicing silence, leaders give others the opportunity to step up and contribute. This fosters collaboration, encourages innovation, and builds a sense of ownership and accountability within the team. Silence also nurtures personal growth. When we're constantly speaking and engaging with others, we may miss out on moments of self-reflection. Silence provides us with the opportunity to connect with our inner thoughts, to assess our own feelings, and to understand our goals more clearly. This introspection is essential for personal development as it helps us understand our motivations, align our actions with our values, and continue evolving as individuals. Strategic silence can help you maintain peace and composure in difficult situations. In times of conflict or disagreement, it's easy to fall into the trap of reacting impulsively. However, by practicing silence and taking a step back, we avoid saying things in the heat of the moment that we might later regret. This pause gives us the opportunity to regain our composure, reassess the situation, and respond with more thoughtfulness and wisdom. Speaking less and embracing strategic silence isn't about becoming mute or avoiding communication. It's about choosing the right moments to speak and the right moments to remain silent. It's about allowing your actions to speak louder than your words, creating space for others to contribute, and responding thoughtfully rather than impulsively. When you master the art of strategic silence, you not only build greater influence, but you also develop a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. So the next time you find yourself tempted to speak, ask yourself, is this the right moment to speak, or is it a time for silence? By embracing silence strategically, you will find that your words have far greater power, and your influence will grow stronger. Thank you.